Now the first thing we're going to need, obviously, is some tubing. This is a U-bend. As you can see, it's the shape of a U. And what we do, you can order these with different radiuses, which would be radii, right?
Yeah.
And you cut them, and it's not a big mystery. You cut them into a pie shape to get them into the section you want.
Right. So you're going to end up with a lot of, pieces after a while, which actually will kind of help you mock up a few different strategies. But what you want to do is basically get your U-bend, maybe even cut it off a little bit. Get out your favorite Sharpie, and you can put little marks on here, go over bandsaw, whatever you need to do, and cut it, get a nice straight flat surface. Then you can start piecing these together. You can lay them, basically butt it in, and you'd be amazed how a little bit of 1-inch tape wrapped real tight will hold that pretty good, and you can start basically threading your pipes through where you need to go.
You can start at usually want to start here at the head. Now we've made our own 3/8 stainless flanges. That's what we're going to weld to, and we've got our own inset tube. Now these have a small inset tube, probably about 7/8 of an inch. And these are a larger tube. Well, what we've done to keep that back pressure in there is use the original tube inside of it. That'll keep some back pressure at the head and allow it to build some low torque better.
Yeah, we'll get a good expansion out of the exhaust stroke. We've got a nice free flow on header. Now what we want to do is kind of get our layout so we've got a target. We've got a starting point, but if you have a target, you're going to wander all over the place. So maybe we should lay out a couple of these pipes and see what kind of look you want, Brian.
Yeah, we've kind of thought about, let's see, hold them up in there.
We can do them a little bit longer, a little bit shorter.
Yeah, this is good, but on the other side, we're going to have a kickstand here. That's going to be a little bit of a problem, I think, if we go in that area. Now, I thought about, we've also got these little collectors. These are really nice, and so we could go a 4 into 2, and so these collectors will help do that. The other way to do it would be like stock, which is all 4 into 1 over on a side, which I don't think I want to do. And then the other would be just 4 straight pipes to go underneath. So I think somewhere, regardless, I need them to go underneath because I don't want to lean over and have the chance of hitting those pipes, and it stays out of the way of the kickstand too.
Well, let's lay out some of these ideas, see which one sticks, and then we can kind of start fixing ourselves on a good game plan. So let's start mocking up here.
Okay. All right, now it's a good idea. We're taping everything in. Tape yourself some spacers, kind of like we did down here. And that'll give you a little bit of room, and like when you go to the opposite side, you can use the same spacer to like space off of a frame rail, off the other tube, anything like that. Now once you get to a point like these center tubes are, we've got them to a point where, they're straight up and down, they got good spacing, they look good. Probably a good time to get a tack. Once you feel comfortable, that's pretty much where I want it. But don't put like, don't crank it up, put a huge tack, put a really small tack, that way you can get it off if you need to.
Yeah. Now what Brian's getting on this exhaust, I'm going to start laying out some...
Try to get a cutoff wheel into there.
Feels pretty solid.
Looks pretty good. All right, we're back on our stainless steel exhaust system here. Now, when you're feeling this thing out, it's really kind of hard. You go over here, no, I don't like it. Move it over there. That's why we tape it, we tack it. Don't put it on too solid in any one place because you just might change your mind. Now speaking of change your mind, originally we're going to do 4 pipes, 4 straights. Maybe kick them here, maybe go underneath. But now we've come up with, we're going to go 4 into 2. And that's going to work really cool. These beautiful stainless collectors. These are really nice. And we're going to mount 1 on either side here. Bring 4 down. I think what we'll do is come out. We've got about a 2.5-inch outlet. Bring that, kick it. And that should look pretty sharp. We're ready to move on to the next step and birds up on the electronics.
Brian took basically from
this last piece, and that's getting pretty close. I'm going to show you a couple of tips. One thing, if you want to do the opposite side, once you got the first one done, second should really fly. Because you grab your marker, you put it over your tube, bloop, bloop, cut it right on your mark. You know you're ready to go. Should be identical on the opposite side. Now the other thing is, when you come into that tube, see how it's a little bit ovalized? Now this oval, situation has happened by when they bend the tube, they pull the mandrel through, it gets pretty close, but it's still going to be a little bit oval. So we have this tubing expander. What this will do, let me show you on a scrap piece. Turn it on, it's hydraulically operated. See how that goes in and out? Now when you put your tube in there, whoa, look at that. That's a pretty cool tool there. Now we're not actually going to use it to do a slip joint. You could, but what we're going to do is try to take care of a little bit of this ovalization. So you put it on, just put the tip in a little. We're going to touch it off just a little bit, not all the way. Okay, so that should take care of that ovalization. Now this is the last piece to go on. After that, the exhaust is, whoo, finished.
Now you can see we've got